Good morning. Today I will be walking you through the Feedlot Solutions version 7 Lite edition. You will first notice that there are categories across the top of the program. These are categorized to help guide you through your entry process. Begin on the far left. Under FLS, you will see Backup and Restore. The program is a database structure. Every time you create a backup, it will store all of the files up to that moment in time. If you make a mistake or your computer crashes and you need to restore back to that moment in time, you have the ability to select your backup and click on Restore. The program will then take your system to that moment in time. Also under FLS are options. Here you can set up specific defaults for your operation. You also can set up all of your information that will then show up on invoices and reports. The Database tab allows for you to prompt for backups however many times you would like, and it also will add a backup to the system automatically during invoicing when you add totals to accounts receivable. If you are a Canadian client and need GST, this is where you can come in and enter your tax percentage. Next is the Owners tab. Under Owners are contacts. When you first come into the contact screen, you will notice that all of the contacts entered so far will show up. The tabs to add, edit, delete, refresh, and close will be consistent in all of your entry screens. If you left-click on the Add, you will notice that you can enter as much detail or just the company name and whether this specific entry is a buyer, an owner, a source, a destination, employee, or supplier. Note that this program is as general or specific as you'd like it to be. For example, under Destination, you have the ability to enter as general as the state of South Dakota or as specific as a barn, Philip Livestock Auction. When you're completed, you will save and it will build to your list of entries. Next are pens. Your pens are physical locations within the system. These are unlimited. You can enter them with numbers or letters, and you can also add additional descriptions. Under the Lots screen, again, you'll notice the list of all of your lots are here. You can do different sorting. You can also left-click to add new. Here you can enter a lot name. Again, numbers or letters are okay. An ownership name if you so choose. Daily yardage, which can be specific to each lot. For example, if you'd like for it to be different on some lots compared to others, that is fine. The yardage will automatically calculate as long as those cattle are in the system. For weight method, you can enter average daily gain or dry matter conversion. The program has the opportunity for you to enter active or inactive lots. What this means is once this lot is closed out, you can come in and make this inactive so that it will no longer appear on your drop-downs or reports. You can also have multiple owners on a lot. Left-click on the down arrow, select your first owner, put in the percentage, left-click on Add Owner. You'll notice it then appears below. Next, select the second owner, their percentage, and click Add. So long as this totals 100%, you can save and continue. Next is Enter Payments Received and Enter Checks Issued. This gives you the opportunity to go in and select an owner and put in charges or payments against their accounts receivable. Under Cattle, you can build your animal types, As we stated earlier, as general or specific as you wish. You can choose to just have heifers, steers, and mixed, or you can put in specific breeds and later follow them through for analysis sake. Postmortem is very similar. You can add all culling and postmortem items here, which will later help you identify for analysis sake. The cattle purchase screen allows you to enter all of your purchases of your animals. If you left click on the Add button, this is what our cattle purchase screen looks like. You can enter the date, the lot number, your head, your total gross weight, total net weight, or the averages. It will automatically calculate. Any of the areas that you see the 3 dots allows you for directly from this screen, you can click on that and it will take you to the contact screen or to the lot screen so that you can build those things. That allows you to continue working on your current screen. Here you can enter your shrink, your cost weight per 100, check number if you want to, invoice number if you need to, your trucking, order buying, miscellaneous cost, and then your landed cost. You then enter your source, buyer, the pen that they're being delivered into, the animal type. At the bottom, you'll notice estimated gain per head per day, estimated final head weight, and estimated cost of gain. This is a simple projection based on the information entered above. It will then give you a simple break-even and finishing date. All of your purchases are stored below. If you ever need to come back and modify or delete, you simply left-click to highlight, click on Edit, modify any of the information needed, and hit Save. Next, under the Cattle tab is Cattle Sale. Very similar to the Cattle Purchase screen, this area will list out all of the sales you've entered thus far. If you left-click on Add, this is what the Cattle Sale screen looks like. Here is where you'll have the option, whether it's shipping, culling, or post-mortem, to enter any animal going out of your feedlot program. You'll enter the date, the lot, the pen, the head count, and weights and dollars. You can also enter the destination and diagnosis or reason if it happens to be a post-mortem or cull. Pen transfer. Pen transfer allows for you to do a simple movement from pen to pen. Remember that a pen is a physical location. So this is a movement of animals from one location to another. It's very simple. By left-clicking on Add, you select the date, the source pen. The program will then tell you the lot name and the location, as well as how many head are in that current location. You can then select how many head you need to move and the destination pen. Your pen movements are unlimited. Enter new weights. The Enter New Weight screen allows for you to select a weight date, select a population. When you bring up the specific lot, the program will automatically give you what the average current weight is. It then allows you to enter your new average weight and save, and the program will then update from that point moving forward. Next is our Feed tab. Under Feed are the components, otherwise known as ingredients. Again, they will all be listed below with their costs and details. If you need to add, you left-click, select the name of that component, your cost per ton, any markup or margin, markup as a percentage, margin as a dollar amount, your dry matter percentage, your net energy maintenance, your net energy gain, if you would like to enter those, and you can put a starting inventory. Once you have your list of ingredients built, you can then go under your feed category and build your rations. When I go into the ration screen, I will get a listing of all of the rations I have created so far. You can go in and make current ones active and others inactive so you don't have to look at your entire list. When you begin to add, you select your ration name and build each component within the ration. So long as it totals 100%, you will then get a breakdown of the ration as shown above with your price, your cost, your dry matter, and your dollars. Next under Feed is the Component Purchase screen. If you would like to track your inventory or just the purchases coming into your operation, you can simply add and enter each of the purchases that have come in and what the amount in dollars are. Last under the Feed category is your Feed screen. Feedlot Solutions does currently interface with Digistar and Viewtrak. If you would like to speed up the process, please call and visit with us regarding the interface. It allows for you to import the information that is stored from your scale and import that file into your program. If you do not want to interface with a feed truck scale, this is where you would enter your feed. When I left-click to add, this is what we call our feed screen. The program is very date flexible, meaning if you would like to sit down once a week and enter all of your information that's been fed, you can go back, enter March 7th for last Monday. It will show all of your pens. You simply left-click on the pen. To the right will come up your lot name, the head count, and what the head weight is. You then select a ration from your list. The pen information will be listed below, and I have under my defaults to set my body weight percentage at 3%, so it will automatically calculate what the amount to feed is. If you don't want that in there, you can go under your options and put that to 0 so that it will always be blank until you enter the feeding amount, or you simply highlight and just put that I fed 1,200 pounds. When I left-click to feed, you'll notice that my pen name will become red. Red means that that pen has been fed. This is a fabulous visual so that as you go through your feeding, if you are disrupted and need to go do something else, when you come back to your feed screen, you can simply look at where you left off. When you go to the next day, same thing. Select your pen, select your ration, enter the amount to feed, and click on Feed. Next tab is Expenses. You can enter unlimited amounts of expense items. You can be as general or specific as you wish on your expenses as well. For example, if you're more general, you may just enter processing, medical, bedding. If you'd like to be more detailed, you have every opportunity to go in and enter your specific drugs, your unit cost, your units, and apply the cost, and you can also track inventory. Once you build your list of items, you can go under the Expense tab, go down to the Expense option, and here we'll list out all of the expenses you've done so far. To click New, you'll left-click on Add, select the date. You can apply this by pen, by lot, or by pen and lot. You have the ability to go in and select your lot, put in what the item is. Your units will automatically be shown. Your cost is pulling from the screen that we were just in for items, and then you can apply it to a category. You have the ability, if you'd like to adjust your cost, you can here. and then you just put what the quantity is. For example, if I used 10 milliliters, you can just put that here. If you'd like to apply per head, the program will automatically calculate that for you. You can save or cancel, and you'll notice that it's shown below. If you do an entry and realize that you do not like it, you can left click, you can either delete, or you can click on edit and modify the information as needed. If you'd like to do inventory with your expense items, under expenses you'll see the item purchase. This is where you can go in and purchase in your new inventory. Under reports is our report matrix. This screen allows you to have your reports categorized to help guide you in what you may want to be looking at: cattle, feed, expense, payables, receivables, analysis, and clients. Now I will go through and show you some examples of the following reports. If you would like any of these reports in further detail to review, do not hesitate to contact us at 866-456-2207, and we'd be happy to email them to you so that you can further review. I will just show you a quick example of a few of these reports. The cattle category has the lot inventory history. This allows you to select a specific lot, one, a couple of different options, or select all. If you would like for this report to be larger to review, in the bottom right hand corner you can simply select by left clicking and moving your cursor to the right. This will make this information larger. The browser bar on the right hand side allows you to simply drag down and you can get more of the report. All of our reports have a function to simply export directly out of the report. Left click and you can select PDF, CSV, Excel, rich text format, TIFF, or web archive. You can also directly print from this report. At any time, if you'd like to select a different lot, you simply hit the drop down arrow and choose the other lots. It will regenerate the report and you can use the blue right arrows to review more of the information. One other helpful piece of information is any area where you see underlined, the program allows you to have a calculation hint. If you're wondering where the information comes from, simply left click and a calculation hint will appear showing you how that calculation is done. One other piece of information, if you'd like to have several reports open at one time, simply left click and minimize the report. You'll notice that it's at the bottom of the page. If you'd like it to be larger, click on the maximize and you can review or X out. The pen inventory report allows for you to select a specific date. So if you would like to see what your inventory was as of March 1st, you can choose March 1st and all of the information will be adjusted to that date. The last page of this report will show you your total animals in the feedlot as of that day. Cattle purchase report allows for you to select a time period and will show you all of your purchases that have been made during that time period. Next, under the cattle reports is your cattle sales. The cattle sales is very similar to the purchase report. Select a start and end date, and all of the sales within the program during that time period will appear. Pen transfers. All of your physical movements within the feedlot can be shown by choosing your period of time. A banker report. This information is shown as of today's date, and don't forget the helpful hint of left-clicking on the information to be able to see what the calculation is. The next report I will show you is the cattle inventory report. This can be done by lot or by pen. The yard sheet, as fed or dry matter. You can select a specific day for this report to be done. If you do not select a date, the program will automatically do your current computer date. So in this example, my cattle have not been fed the past few days, so the actual consumption information is blank on most of these. Next, we'll go to the feed category. Here is a ration listing report. If you do the retail ration listing, you will also get all of the markup and margins. Component listing will show you all of the components that you have entered into your program, along with all the information associated to that component and your inventory. Component purchase log. You can select a time period and a component, and it will show you your purchase log of that ingredient for that time period. A component journal. Select your time period, select your component. The report will generate, and you'll be able to see everything that was used of the silage corn for this time period and the pen it was delivered to. The component usage. You select a time period, and it will show you each of your ingredients and what the total was used, as well as the price and cost. The lot component usage does something very similar, but breaks it down by lot so that you can review. The customer component usage, very similar concept, but breaks it down to your owners. Feed list. The feed list report allows you to select a period of time and a lot. Select preview, and I can blue arrow through all of my feed lists. You'll notice this lot, this time period, here's the dates, the rations, the amount of feed that was delivered. Lastly, under the feed category is your daily feed. This allows you to select one day, and it will show you everything that was fed on that day. You'll also get a total ration breakdown for that period at the bottom. Next, we go into the expense category, an item listing, which will show you everything that you have entered under the items screen. Your item journal, so for the selected time period, what have you used of, let's say, Draxon. It will show you your opening inventory, any purchases that you've done, and in this case there was one expense item applied on 11/16. And if you're doing any item purchasing for inventory, it would be shown here. Your accounts payable, your accounts receivable, aged receivable, your invoice summary for the period. Here you select your time period. your owner. We'll use today's date for the end date. And this is what an invoice summary for just the period that you selected would look like. The next format that I will show you is the invoice period to date. Very similar. You can go ahead and select your date period, start and end date. That information is mandatory. You can select all of your lots to invoice or just one at a time. You can do your total ration. Typically, you always want to include your feed cost. You can add totals to accounts receivable for billing. You can have an optional page to show you your feed list and an optional page to show you your invoice items, or you can show your invoice period for that period only. Left click on Preview, and as you can see below, this invoice is just a little more detailed with some estimated average daily gain information, as well as you have a current invoice period column and a to-date column, as well as some weights. Same concept in the format, just a little more detailed. Tax summary, if you have the GST set up under defaults, you can look at. The lot expense summary will show you your items that you've charged. Customer expense summary, very much the same thing, only it will categorize it based on the customer instead of just the lot. Your lot expense listing, your statement of account, if you would like to print that and send that with your bills. This will give you an overview of all the invoices and their accounts receivable as of today. The closeout report under analysis. The closeout can be done as many times as needed, so long as your cattle are all sold out of the program. You'll notice as I drop down, it will only give you the options of the cattle that have been completely sold out. Then you have different parameters that you can check. Keep in mind that if you would like to run this report as is and then adjust parameters, you would just adjust and then hit Preview. This is what a closeout looks like in Feedlot Solutions version 7 Lite. Keep in mind all the underlines are your calculation hints. Toward the bottom, you'll notice the profit and break-even, and the cattle purchases and sales. If you would like to see a closeout as of today's date on cattle that have yet to be sold, you can do a prospective closeout at any time, and the report will go ahead and show those cattle sold out as of today's date. Very similar format, showing you your profit and break-even as of today's date, with your cattle sale as a projected sale on today's date. The yard snapshot, it will automatically come up with all of your lots in the feed yard. If you would like to narrow this report down and show detail of a specific customer or a specific lot, you can do so at the top and left click on Preview. Otherwise, this is what your yard snapshot will look like. Lastly, under Clients is a client listing that will show you everyone that you have set up under your owners. If you would like to go through and set your parameters to just review certain things, you can just check these boxes. We greatly appreciate you taking the time to review Feedlot Solutions version 7 Lite. If you have any questions or comments, please do not hesitate to call us at 866-456-2207. Thank you so much and have a great day.